Hey there everyone, this is Jessica from domesticatedme.com, and today, in honor of it being the last day of Hispanic Heritage Month, I'm doing the Latina Tag. So if you'd like to know more about me and my Latina-ness, then let's get started. I had a follower recently write to me and say that she wished that I would do more of these fun tag videos, and I really take it as a kind gesture because what it says to me is that you guys really want to see more of my personality, learn a little bit more about me rather than just straight review or tutorial videos. You want to see a little more of my personality or just learn more about me. And so here I am doing the Latina Tag. So I have the questions in my multicolored Louis Vuitton planner here. And so let's get started. First question is, what is your nationality? Now, I don't know who started this tag, but there's a difference between nationality and ethnicity and race and identity. So I don't want to give you guys a civics lesson right off the beginning, but it's important to know the difference because one has to do with statehood, one has to do with identity and heritage, and it's also because of the political climate that we're in. It's very unfortunate. There's a lot of xenophobia and racism and bigotry and just a lot of it's not been the best climate for people who are of color and who have ethnic backgrounds. I mean, I just feel like it's so funny. It's not funny at all, but people are. I guess there's a group of people who are just trying to erase history because unless you're Native American, guess what? You're from another country or another empire, and you immigrated here just like the rest of us. So it may not have been the previous generation. It may have been a couple of hundred years ago, but yeah, okay. But anyway, so my nationality is American. I'm a citizen. I was born in New York City, but my mother is Colombian with Spanish grandparents, and my father is Ecuadorian. I was raised with my Colombian family, so I identify more Colombian than I do Ecuadorian, and that's just because of the way that I was raised and who I was raised with. Do you speak Spanish? Claro que sí. I actually learned English in school. Again, I was born here in New York City, but all of my family just spoke Spanish at home, and I have an older brother who learned English when he was in school. So when he was learning, then I started learning. And I actually didn't know that until a couple of years ago when I found an old home video, a home movie, and I was speaking with the craziest, thickest accent. I'm like, where did that come from? I was born here. Why do I have an accent? But yes, and another story that I like to share, and I think it's also very important, is that I grew up in a really Dominican neighborhood in New York City in the borough of Queens, and I was often told that I was white or I was a white girl because of the way that I spoke. I went to private school. I was exposed to a lot of culture and a lot of other different cultures, not just cultural centers of culture. So like I went to a lot of museums and things like that. And I was exposed to people of different countries, of different cultures, and this is just the way that I was raised. It's what was around me growing up. But because of the accent that I did or didn't have, I was often told that I spoke like a white girl, that I was a white girl. Meanwhile, I was traveling all of Latin America. I am a Latin American history buff. I love Spanish literature, and that's actually what I studied in school. I was an English major, but I minored in Latin American studies and Spanish literature. So for someone else to tell me who I am or what I'm not because of the way that I speak, the way that I dress, the way that I handle myself, so my message to you is, if you are Latina, it doesn't matter what shade of the rainbow your skin is, or what accent you have or don't have, or how you grew up, or what you know, you know, or don't know. Don't let anyone else tell you what you are or aren't, okay? If you identify as Latina, be proud of being Latina, even if you have a Hispanic last name or a Spanish last name, but you didn't grow up with the culture and you don't feel like you're Latina and you don't want to identify as a Latina person, do you, okay? You are responsible for your identity. Don't let anyone else tell you who you are, and love yourself no matter what. What's your favorite dish? So I have a few favorite dishes, but my ultimate favorite is sancocho. These are Colombian dishes because I'm just not familiar with Ecuadorian cuisine as much. So sancocho is it's a Colombian stew, and it has plantains and potatoes and cassava, what we call yuca, and it comes with different kinds of meat. But my favorite is oxtail, and it's just I think it's like the spine of the cow. I know it sounds really weird, but I absolutely love it. It's so good. And the sad part is that I haven't eaten it in a while because I kind of stopped eating red meat. And I'm only eating fish. I'm sort of becoming pescatarian, and that's just for a health reason. It's not because a choice that I made. It's just for health reasons. When I eat meat, I tend to get migraines, so I'm cutting the meat out, or I'm trying to, anyways. But I love sancocho. Um, oh, and one more. It's more like a snack, really, and it's mango liche. Whenever I would go to Colombia, it's the first thing, or when I do go to Colombia, it's the first thing that I look out for. And mango liche is basically these small little, really, the outside is really, really dark green mango, and they're small. My mouth is watering right now just thinking about it. When you cut into it, it's very hard and it's very white. It's not, or like a very light whitish green. It's not the mango, the big mangoes that we know here. Like it's very yellowy and sweet. Mango liche is really sour. And so in every corner, like the way that we have here in New York City, we have like hot dogs and pretzel stands everywhere. People would sell mango liche, and they would just cut up the mango into like a little flour, and then they would pour tons of lemon juice on it and salt, and it's my mouth is watering. It's so good. The last time I visited was in 2010 in November. For my birthday, I took my then boyfriend, now husband, to Colombia for the first time, and we went to different cities. My family's from Medellin. We went to Medellin, we went to Cartagena, and we went to San Andres, and it was amazing. But I was pregnant at the time, so I was going through some really bad morning sickness, and it really was not super as fun as it could have been because I we were staying in an all-inclusive resort for two of the places that we stayed in, and so it's all you can eat buffets and steak and whatever you wanted, seafood and all you could drink, and I couldn't do really much of any of that because I was getting sick. So, well, but it was 2010, November of 2010. What's your favorite place to visit? It has to be Cartagena. Cartagena is an old city. It's the port city of Colombia. It's on the Caribbean coast, and it's where a lot of, since the founding of the country and when people started coming to South America, it's where all the ships, most of the ships landed with products and things like that. And it is kind of like Old San Juan in that it's a very old Spanish city, and it actually reminds me of New Orleans if you've ever been to New Orleans, except that with instead of having such a French heritage, it's very Spanish. And even though New Orleans has some Spanish in it, um, the ironwork, it has this very specific like French tradition, and in Cartagena it's more Spanish. But it's very colorful, just like the houses that you see in New Orleans. It's colorful and bright, and a lot of wooden porches. It's really, really beautiful. And I love that you get the old city there, but you also have the beaches and the resorts there as well. So that's why I really love Cartagena. And in Medellin, which is where my family's from, I love El Parque de las Gordas. That's what it's called. It's a little plaza, or not so little, but it's a plaza where one of the museums of that region is located, and they have a bunch of statues by Fernando Botero, which is the famous Spanish sculptor and painter. And I just love that plaza, and it's really fun to just watch people go about their day, visit the museum, take pictures in front of the statues. It's a really cool place. Have you ever visited the capital? No, I have not. I have not visited Bogota. It is one of the places that I really wish I could go because it's really great for fashion and for food, but I've just never had the opportunity. I've landed there in connecting to other places, but I've never visited or stayed there, but I do one day. Favorite dessert. So this one is a little bit of a hard one because there's just so many good things. I will say that I love arroz con leche. My mom makes the best arroz con leche, and that literally translates into rice and milk. And I know it sounds really weird, but it's actually like a really sweet, yummy pudding made with rice and condensed milk and powdered milk. And my mom puts raisins in it and cinnamon sticks. It's really, really good. Try it. I also like arequipe, which is our version of dulce de leche or caramel. It's really good. And we have obleas, which are these wafer, like tortillas. They look like a tortilla, but it's really thin wafer cookie, just like, you know, a waffle cone, I mean. Just like a waffle cone, that exact taste, and it's exactly that, but it's very, very thin, and it's like a little round patty. And then we put some of the arequipe in there and make like a little sandwich with it. It's so good. I also love cholados, and I haven't had that in years for a reason, because only Colombians, or I know actually that other people do this too, but of course we have found a way of making fruit salad unhealthy, and it's basically just fruit salad with a crap ton of condensed milk and sugar on it. It's so good. It's so good though. Where is your family from? My mom's side is from Medellin. I mentioned that, Medellin, Colombia. And oh, and by the way, Colombia. Okay, say it with me, Colombia. Colombia. No U's, no U's. Colombia. Thank you. And my father is from Cuenca, Ecuador, which is a mountainous city in Ecuador. My grandmother still lives there. I still have family there who live in a farm, a very large farm. They have a lot of land there. So I have visited there, but it's been a long time. I think the last time I was there was about 6 years old. What I love most about being Colombian is just the people. We are known for being one of the happiest places in the world. And I know why, because they just know how to live there. It's just beautiful just to see. It's the land of many temperatures. You have the Andes, the snow, the cold from the mountains, but then you have the Caribbean side, and then you have the cities, and you have the Amazon jungle. It's just so diverse. Diverse climates, diverse people, and it's just a really, really happy place. So I love that about being Colombian. Unfortunately, I don't know much about being Ecuadorian, but I wish I knew more. And of course, I'm proud of being Ecuadorian as well. I just wish I knew more, and that's up to me. I need to do that myself, so I'm working on it. Where haven't you visited? So Bogota is the place that I haven't visited in Colombia that I would love to go to. Of course, I wish that I could explore the Amazon, but because of how dangerous it is in jungle areas, I am not. Colombia has gotten much safer. It's not the Colombia that you probably know from the movies or, you know, stories out there, but it's gotten much, much safer. But there's still some dangerous areas, and that tends to be in the jungle areas, and just it's not safe to really travel between city and city by land. So there are some areas that are still kind of hot spots for some bad folks. So I wish to explore all of it, really. And when it comes to Ecuador, I really would love to go to the Galapagos. That has been a dream of mine since I can't remember. I wish I could go to the Galapagos. I'm dying to go. One day, maybe, but just all of Ecuador, really. Cuenca, I've been to Cuenca, but Quito, the capital, I haven't been to the capital. I would like to go to the capital, and I'd like to go to, what's it called? They also have a coastal little town that's really fun and touristy and just good to travel to, and that is, what's it called? I'll think about it, and then I'll write it in the info section below. But it's like beachy, surfy area, and I'd like to try to visit there too. Do I have cultural specific decor in my house? Yes, I do. I have I have these little houses that look like the houses in Colombia in the country. They're beautiful white with just really pretty, and I'll insert a picture of it on the blog so that you can see it. And I have a really nice original painting of some Colombian instruments that I have hanging in my living room. What else do I have? I'm sure that I have a lot more, but those are the only two that I can think of right now. But thank you so much for watching this Latina Tag video. Let me know if you're Latina, if you are watching me or Latino, and tell me where you're from and anything that you really love about your culture and country. I'd love to hear from you. Write it down in the comment section below. I always love to hear from you guys. Make sure that you check out the info section as well, because I link to my social media pages and my corresponding blogs that sometimes feature photos of products or whatever I'm discussing in my videos. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do more tag videos, or if you want me to talk a little bit more about my background. And subscribe if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.